It is time now for all things current in California politics, joined again by Rich Eisen, editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly publication. Rich, nice to have you here. So California's budget deficit, much more than projected. Is this the ebb and flow of state budgets, or is this something of supreme concern right now?
Well, I mean, I think it's always a concern, especially came in about $5 billion
Yes.
more than anticipated. I can still hear Jerry Brown in my head from all those years of budget pressers where he's saying, holding up charts and talking about it being, the ebb and flow, as you say, of the budget cycle. So it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you.
He always had a nice rainy day fund.
Yes, he did.
And that did get wiped out by COVID and other things.
But that's part of it. The revenues are up right now over projections, but because we do a lot of ballot box budgeting in this state, a lot of that money was automatically committed to other things, Prop 98 and other things.
Okay, a federal judge in Texas has blocked redistricting there for now. Is that something that will be permanently blocked, do you feel? And how does California respond after going through all this and passing Prop 50?
So it was a 3-judge panel. On a 2-to-1 vote, they overturned those the maps that they drew, saying they were obviously racially gerrymandered. The appeal is going to automatically go to the U.S. Supreme Court. So that's where we're at with that. The Texas case will go to the Supreme Court. Now, we don't know when yet, but that's where that's going. With us, it really doesn't matter because we took the trigger aspect out of Prop 50. In theory, when it started, Prop 50 was only going to be voted on if Texas's maps went forward. That was removed because at the time, their maps had already been approved. So now our maps are going to go into effect regardless. Unless the lawsuit that are challenging it are go the same way as the Texas one did.
All right, as you've been always cautioning, this race for California governor on the Democratic side will continue to grow, as you've been talking about. We're still waiting on Eric Swalwell to determine whether he's in. Tom Steyer has dropped in, and you've been mentioning his name as well. What do we know about Tom Steyer?
Well, he is a billionaire. We know that. His stock and trade for a long time has been the environment. Another tech guy who made a ton of money, and really has been front and center on a lot of environmental issues. Ran for president in 2020, spent $100 million, didn't get anywhere. But, it's an interesting thing because a lot of the Democratic mantra now has been anti-billionaire, and yet we're seeing Rick Caruso, who's a billionaire, talking about it. Now Tom Steyer. It's interesting what impact this might have on Swalwell because he doesn't have anywhere close to that kind of money. And if he does get in, it sounds like he's going to be counting on Klubeck to fund his campaign, another billionaire. So, there's a lot of moving parts here.
There are, definitely. Well, let's listen to Steyer as he got in yesterday.
Sacramento politicians are afraid to change up this system. I'm not. They're going to hate this. Bring it on. I'm Tom Steyer, and I'm running for governor.
All right, kind of a folksy, relatable guy. All right, other topic. The Fed's DOJ and ICE. What's happening with California and all this? Is there a correlation?
Well, I mean, we pass laws here trying to stop ICE from staying masked up all the time.
Right.
The feds, obviously, they feel like, they ought to be allowed to do it. So, yes, they're going to challenge our laws. One of those was, I think, a bill by Scott Wiener, who's running for...
This is an ongoing...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is an ongoing thing.
Where do you see this being resolved? Which way do you see this landing?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, they're both going to have to make a case in court to say that, that they're right. We will see. I could see this getting overturned, our law being upheld at the lower levels.
And then upstairs, not so much.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. Rich Eisen, editor-in-chief, Capital Weekly. Rich, thank you.
Sure.